Whoa.
It was a button. Remember, at the last moment, that's right, husband Shawn had, like, touched something on the side of the laptop. The initial time. There's, like, a little notch on the side, which I guess is good, you know, for privacy. All the other times, you can just have your camera off. But
maximum security.
Such as these, you touch all the buttons that are not on the side of the computer, and then you go, in the computer.
It's inside the computer. Amanda, how are you?
Great. How are you?
You showered?
Yeah.
I'm great. I've showered too.
You look very, teacherly.
The outfit is actually, it leans into something I want to talk about.
Oh,
tonight.
Great.
So
great.
that's hence why the outfit, but,
Sure.
I feel like we haven't chatted in a while. Listeners wouldn't know that. From their POV, we just chatted last week when the episode was dropped. But, like, in our own lives, it's like...
It's been a week. Well, over a week.
It's been, like, kind of a while.
It's been.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Yeah, it's been. Yeah. At school right now, we're doing testing. So...
Sure. Very art heavy.
Well, yeah. My classes are 30 minutes apiece, and I have literally 2 minutes in between every class.
Yikes.
So, yeah, it's not going... it's fine. It just is what it is. It's just testing, so all the students are, like, stressed. And then we have second graders this year taking state testing.
Wait,
So, that's a bummer, but, you know...
Yeah.
Hopefully they're going to just do fine and knock it out of the old park. But, yeah.
And maybe they won't. They're in the second grade.
Maybe they won't. They're also in the second grade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, I
do. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't really imagine because my daughter's in the second grade right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I don't know how she would process a test like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's...
We do a spelling test, and she's already like, did I get any wrong? You know, because I use a red crayon to grade it, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't have a red pen. I just grab a crayon.
Drama. Yeah, I love that. I told a student today they were being dramatic, and she said, "No, I'm not." And I said, "Well, you know, that's
case in point.
This is what I've been saying." Yeah.
This just came up last night with husband Shawn. You know, especially kids, you have that habit of being like, stop, don't.
Oh,
well, sure. I was categorically struggled with that as a child, and I'd often say, no. And then my dad would go, and the Arca? And I could have sworn I told husband Shawn that 500 times, and he was like, that's the first time I've ever heard that. I'm like, seriously? I can't believe I haven't said that before. Because, yeah, all the time, you're like, no, in the Arca?
No,
right? Stop.
Yeah, if a student
so easy
does
to fall
that,
into.
I'm quick to go like, oh, that's a no for me. That's got to stop. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was only a child thing, but that was my dad's way of snapping you out of it.
Of like, no. Okay. I want listeners to know that I just understood what you meant right now.
Oh.
You're saying Noah and the Ark. I heard you, but it didn't process until now. So I was like, okay, so he's calling her out and she's understanding what he's saying, but I don't understand what she's saying. But then now I'm like, oh, that's like, remember the Ruth and Boaz, like looking for my
I do remember
Boaz.
them, yeah.
Well, sure. Yes, we all remember them from scripture. Real people that lived. But remember, did I mention it on the podcast? It's like inappropriate, but it's like, I saw it on something because I guess the algorithm knows that I'm like into the Bible. Yeah, the Bible girly. And it was like looking for my Boaz, not Yoaz. But it was Yoaz. I'm not saying a bad word. But my sweet brain was like, what? And then it was just shocking to me. And I was like, oh, sorry. I thought it was really funny. I'm sorry for reading it. I'm sorry for saying it that filth all of you, but it was really funny. I mean, it is a very funny little tank or whatever. I did not purchase, but I did think that was kind of funny. Yeah. Okay, my outfit, we can talk about it. Let's describe it for the listeners at home. We got a, a crisp white collar, and we got a bright red, thick, chunky woven cardigan. Mm-hmm. And this is because my new personality that's going to tie into our theme is, or not theme, but title and subject matter today is, also my plug, Charlie Puth's new album, Whatever's Clever.
Okay.
So if you look up Charlie Puth's new album, certainly our listeners are probably already like knee deep in the old album. I think I had heard a few, that's not true. I had heard a few Charlie Puth songs, but I did not know it was him.
Yeah.
And then there's a Taylor Swift song that's like, we declared Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. And I was like, oh. Like, so she mentions him in a song, gives him a little call out. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And obviously I want to, like, make her proud, like Taylor Swift. And then I follow him on the old Instagram machine. And he does Charlie Puth does all these, like, breakdowns of, like music theory. He calls himself Professor Puth. Anyway, and so I've been seeing a lot of his videos, and I'm like, well, you were just precious. And then he has this new album out, and I'm like, I don't know, I guess I'll listen to it. And it is now, when I say I'm all in and I'm fully obsessed, like, I know most of the words to, like, every song. And I just keep going back to it. And I have, in fact, purchased, before I knew for sure I had an army of people or anything, I just purchased a ticket to his concert. And I got this outfit that I ordered to be exactly to match the theme of, because that's like the album cover is him like looking up and there's like a blue sky with like clouds behind him in basically this exact outfit. We'll throw it up on the stories for our listeners. Anyway, it's so good. But
did you listen to him on Armchair?
I did, because I think the album had just come out when I listened to him.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had done, right after they recorded the Armchair Expert episode with him on it, he did the national anthem at the Super
right. It was
Bowl.
yes, that's right, because they talked about it, about like his vision, and then
he did such a good job. Y'all, if you haven't heard that, it was really beautiful. This isn't halftime show. It's not people freaking out about who knows what. It's just the national anthem. And it was so good. He's so talented. Anyway, who knew? I had heard a few of his songs truly before, but I like I said, I genuinely didn't know it was him. You know, the attention song, like, you just want attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And earlier in this podcast history, you have said, Amanda, we don't talk anymore. And I had a blank stare like the Noah thing. And I did not understand what you were referring, because I didn't know that song. And then now I've like gone back and have listened. I'm like, oh, okay, I think I have.
Oh, she is clever. Okay.
She is. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Anyway. Yeah, so that's my new personality, the old Charlie Puth. He is just precious. And you gotta listen to have you listened to the album?
Of course not.
Great.
However, due to your passion, it won't be this week. But maybe there'll come a wild hair like 4 months from now.
Okay.
Where I'll feel ready and open to try something new musically, and I'll think, you know what? Yeah. And I'll look it up for your benefit, and then I'll latch on. Like I know, but more delayed.
Of course. Exactly. But here's the thing. I was, dare I say, correct.
No, of course. No, I just can't try things. I can't try new things just for the sake. Like, I have to, I need to roll this over in my mind for the next couple of months to the point that he feels familiar enough, Again, it's like the cleaning or the washing of the sheets or the haircuts where it's like, I need to say it out loud 8 or 9 times. Oh, we really should cut your hair before we finally cut husband Shawn's hair, etc.,
Yeah,
so
I got my oil changed today, and it was a similar phenomenon of, like, I need to get this done, and literally right after I said it, I spoke it aloud. My car was like, ding, 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 get your oil changed soon. And I was like, I literally was just talking about that. That's crazy. And then it still took, a few weeks in order for me to actually get that done. Well, great. Well, guys, Today we're talking about
question.
Concerts. Oh, great.
Yep, follow up. Well, no, it's concert question.
Okay.
So you just purchased one single ticket?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what if you find friends who want to go? Then what?
Well, okay, so Charlie, the old Charlie, listeners, when you hear this, I guess, yeah, there's still time. Listeners, when you hear this, come to Nashville to the show. But it will be in June at the Ascend Amphitheater, and I got a lawn ticket.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole area that's, like, just lawn situation.
Yes.
And I knew a teacher friend from my previous school. She bought a solo ticket alone because she's really brave. And I was like, do you want to go? She's a big Swiftie and different things, and I feel like we have similar, like, sensibilities. And so I said, let's just cut the kiddie stuff and go see Charlie Puth. She was like, LOL, I've already bought my ticket. But her ticket was like a fancier ticket, so it was like up close, and I was like, no. Not close, but not lawn ticket, you know? And so I was like, oh, so then I got a lawn ticket. Well, now friend of the show, Seamstress Sydney, is in fact also going to said concert.
Oh,
so,
good.
Yeah,
great,
so she'll be there as well.
Mm-hmm. It just was a loose end that needed to be tied up, you know.
Absolutely. Well, I think another loose end that's really important for us is the single teacher and her best friend don't really care about their brand. If you're still here, that means you're listening. So you probably understand. Ooh, we probably have a plan. We probably have a plan. Welcome to the pod. I'm Amy.
I'm Amanda.
And we probably
have a plan.
A plan.
A plan.
She was waiting for me. That was Captain Nero from Star Trek, the Chris Pine version. So
sure.
For all of our listeners who enjoyed that. Yeah, y'all, we're talking about concerts. Whoa. Now we've just got to the main point of the episode. Just got to the reason that you're here. Just got to the title of the episode. I wonder how many minutes we've spent. Oof. Yowza. What? I tried to write down all the concerts I've been to. I'm sure I
that was my question.
Several. I just thought of another.
Sure. Mine's far more limited than yours.
Well, I got a little list here. Listeners, you can't see that either, but great. All right, great. I held it up to the camera, but the glare from the old ring light was too bright for her to see. So, yeah, so we hit on concerts a little bit in the music app, you know, where we talked like about having to learn the words to different things.
Sure.
I did for the Rascal Flatts concert. I did look up the set lists before because I was just concerned that I only knew Me and My Gang, and I was kind of right, but I wasn't completely right. There's a few isolated songs that I knew, but there were several that I was like, oh, this is not a Rascal Flatts era that I was, you know, as a part of, you know.
Well, what's your number?
A number of concerts? Okay, hold on. Well, if you've seen people multiple times, do you count those? Does that make sense?
I did, because I've seen one person twice.
Okay. I'm going to round up on this one, because I think that's accurate. But
sure. Nothing some good silence does for a podcast, you know?
I think 18?
Oh, I was thinking far more than that.
That's all I can think of, though. The others might come to me.
Sure.
Yeah, I think 18. How about you? 18 concerts total for me? You being Amanda, me, Amy. Okay, you're 8.
Yeah,
all right.
8. Yeah, I was thinking you were going to be like in the high 30s, reaching 40s.
No, I only go... People think I go to stuff, and I do go to things.
You do. Well, and I guess we would have to separate... Yeah, well, and then it's like, how many comedy shows have you've been to?
Yeah, I've been to a lot of comedy shows and Magician.
So I guess that's different. So, yeah, we're just talking musically. Yeah.
Yeah, like like women's basketball. There's different stuff you gotta go to. Yeah, you've just got to. I mean,
okay,
yeah,
18.
I feel like 18.
Pretty good.
Because I've seen Ben Folds 5 or 6 times, so I rounded up, I believe, on that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's my boy. But then I've seen him with the symphony, so that was a different kind of show. But, yeah. Yeah, I've been to several shows. Do you have a set, like, criteria, like, for your willingness to want to go to a show pre-kids?
Yeah, I mean, I just gotta be, like, fired up about it.
Okay, it has to be, like, something.
Oh, I love them.
Like,
I have to go.
I'm freaking out.
Yeah, because I was deep in Jack Johnson phase for a long time. So I saw twice, and both times I was so jazzed. Again, an amphitheater lawn situation.
He sounds like he'd be a lawn boy.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the equivalent of girly?
Sure.
A lawn bro. Boy. Boy is good.
Yeah, I just have to be, like, fired up, I also was really deep obsessed with Jason Mraz.
I was going to say Jason Mraz feels in that realm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, okay, because I've not seen Jason Mraz or Jack Johnson, but I feel like that was so much a part of my childhood, like, of listening to
and I was, like, 18, like, 17, 18, 19, when I saw those. Because they were, like, it was, like, Jack Johnson came through 2 summers in a row, saw him both summers. Jason Mraz was actually a birthday gift, tickets with another friend of mine. And again, a very good concert. It's like musically, he had a really good band and, jazzed it up.
Totally. Mm-hmm. I just thought of another band that I saw.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think. Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is. Oh, Walk the Moon. I was like, who sings Shut Up and Dance with Me? Yeah, I think
okay, so what's your criteria? Because I think they're wildly different.
I think my criteria, well, and in my brain though, this is funny because I think my criteria is the same. I think it has to be, I absolutely love this artist to go. But then your face is telling me that's not true. But also, okay, so my sister recently has shared with others, with me. She's like, I just like, Sister Amber, friend of the podcast. She's like, I just like that you're down to clown. Like, you're just down for whatever. Like, if I say, hey, we're going to a WNBA game or whatever, I'm like, oh, sick, great. But, like, I really don't ask a lot of questions. And I do think that's fair. So, like, I got to see, but I do love these people. I got to see Cody Fry and Ben Rector in concert with the Nashville Symphony because my big brother Shawn got sick. So he was like, oh, who can we give these to? Let's just give them to her. And I was like, oh, sick. Sure. And so then I invited someone and it wasn't a problem, So I definitely have been invited. But, like, I would have wanted to see them anyway. Because I really, really like them. But
I just remembered one.
Okay, great. Ooh, okay, cool. Okay, wonderful. I know, because I feel like I truly, like, a minute before we recorded, I started to write down different ones. But yeah, in my head, I think current criteria is, A, I absolutely love this artist, and I just, like, I don't want to cease from living without hearing this person live. Mm-hmm. But B, if you have a good enough excitement level, I'll be like, I'll go. That's fine.
The mildest level of interest. After suggestion,
and you invite me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sure. But I don't, I feel like I could say no to someone I didn't really like, though, I think. Because I haven't seen anyone I am like, about. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And there's no one I've seen that I'm like, I didn't really know any of their music and I've gone. So I have not had that experience. So I do still think it's like, that's why I still, I think that's my criteria, is that I really have to like them.
Mm-hmm. And also you're down to clown.
But also I'm just down to, like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Great. Okay,
Great, guys, I'm going, yeah.
Cool, I can't wait. I mean, that's how I got the Eras Tour tickets. Like,
but
I
that
wasn't
one,
on Ticketmaster.
Right.
Someone just
but of course,
said,
you're also, you were big into Taylor Swift, so that's...
Of course.
Yeah.
But, like, I only got those tickets because one of my, like, genuine friends, but previous campers, her and her husband were like, she really wanted to go. Her husband was like, we should get some people to go. And they were like, oh, Amy would be fun to go with. We live in different cities. But they were just like, and then they just, her husband, like, camper's husband, Shawn, was, he went and waited when Ticketmaster crashed and did all the things that iconically happened with Taylor Swift's Eras Tour and just bought us tickets. And they were like, hey, and they FaceTimed me. I thought they were going to say they were having a baby. I was so excited because they FaceTimed out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And then they're like, we bought Eras tickets. And I was like, what? That's so cool.
Even better.
And they're like, and you're going. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So, guys, it pays to be nice to people.
Right. Have that reputation of being,
You too could be unrealistically gifted concert tickets of lifetime.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I remembered I saw Train. And really the reason I got those Train tickets was because Andy Grammer was the opener, and I was like so into Andy Grammer at the time. And then of course it actually ended up being a really good concert. And that was when I was living in Dallas, so that was like a big new thing for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Okay, so in Dallas, you would have had more, perhaps, of a music scene than in Avon, Ohio.
Well, I mean, it was like a state. Yeah, no, it just was more like new city. I've never even been, like I don't know how to navigate around sort of thing.
Oh,
but went and did that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, there's certain ones. Okay, are there certain people that you would like in a heartbeat see again? You're like, oh, if they're in town, I want to go back.
I mean, Justin Timberlake again.
Yeah.
I just been twice, both times. Some of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about it, maybe not as much as we ought to. Because, so listeners, Amanda and I did see Justin Timberlake together, in case you were unclear about that, a few summers ago. And it was one of the best nights of my life. It truly was. Truly. It was just so much fun, and you just dance. And there's different music that makes you, like... So, like, okay, a Jason Mraz concert, a Jack Johnson concert, good, wonderful. Yes, but it's just a different vibe. So it just gives you different things. And so for JT, it's like... lyrically or whatever, I'm not like, oh man, that's the most interestingly written thing, whatever. But it's just like, it's more of a whole sound, like a whole, like,
like it literally
vibe and thing.
Yes. Makes me feel like alive. Like alive.
Invincible. Yes.
Yes.
I was like, limitless.
Ooh.
Yes. Truly.
Yes.
I know.
No, it just, like it clicks me into like, it's like I have the confidence of a well-established, like, who I am now, like, mid-30-year-old.
Yes.
Whilst the feeling of a 16-year-old, like, drop the self-insecurity. Oh. Like, it's like like, it brings me back to teenagehood with all the confidence of who I am now. Rolled up into one. And, like, just something about...
Yeah. It's a similar phenomenon to watching Step Up. Or America's Best Dance Crew for me, which is the sensation of when watching it, I'm like, oh, I can dance. Mm-hmm. And I just know it to be true. And it's just very like, okay, it's just very apparent to me. And I'm like, oh, sick, let's go. And that's how I feel listening to JT. And I don't feel that way with so much music. Like there might be a music with a good beat or something, even like R&B or like rap or something that you're like, okay, cool. But... with JT, it's like, no, I can do this.
Yes. Like, I can't not,
And you can't not. There's, that was just so magical. That was wonderful.
Yes.
And that outfit that I wore.
I mean, those pants.
Those pants have become so, I wore the jacket today to school because it's just so... You put that on, you're like, all right, Like, you can just dance. Like, it's just,
Sure.
it's not, again, it's not a question. It's just like, you can do it. It's fine. Just do it. Like,
yeah. To put it in perspective, he was coming to Atlanta in June.
Yeah.
And I was due with my 4th child at the end of April. And we're like, let's do it. It's like, I will probably have a 6-week-old, but let's do it. And we did, and no regrets.
Hashtag no regrets.
Yep, so drove down. We met each other in Atlanta and stayed at a sweet, sweet family's house who took me in with my 6-week-old, not even met me. They knew my husband, and they knew Amy. And I was like, hi, can we, A, stay at your house? B, can you watch my 6-week-old for, 6 to 8 hours, undetermined? And they were like, absolutely, yes. And she's a nanny and a mom of twins, and the twin girls are teenagers, and they were just, like, in love with him, and it just was magical.
It was, and the person, shout out to, babysitting Sharon.
I was going to say, like, traveling Sharons.
Traveling Sharons. Atlanta Sharons. She was like, I reached out to and was like, hey, I don't know why I discounted it, but I didn't say, like, I know it might sound silly, but I prefaced it with something like that. Like, I know that it might seem a little trivial to us. I know. I kind of, like,
my whole
I
life
was a
is
different
frivolous.
person then. Everything about my life is frivolous, and I don't deserve fun. And everyone's like, stop being weird. No, I said something like that, and it was like, we don't get to see each other very often, me and Amanda, and, like, they had these tickets in Atlanta, and this could be, like, our moment, or whatever. And she was just like, no, like, stop it right there. Like, these friendships are so important and, like, such a huge part of life and, like, sisterhood and just all the things. Like, it is not frivolous whatsoever to desire and to plan out this with your best friend. Like, you need to do this. And it was just such a, like, well, love that. That was so sweet. Like, she just totally,
like, here, have our house.
It was like, totally.
Have the whole basement of our home, and let me feed you, and keep your baby, and then feed you in the morning, and make you an espresso. And then we've since stayed at their house another time, and, like, they are just...
She took our senior pictures, basically.
Yeah.
We went outside and we're like, can you take photos of us, please?
And then, of course, from the mom side, like, she sent me a couple pictures before our show started and was like, he's doing so great, and, like, we're all in love with him. And I was able to put my phone down and just be in the moment with you from start to finish. Did we ever sit down?
No. Okay, that was one of my questions. Okay, how do we feel about sitting at a concert? Where do you stand, Amanda Manders?
Well, I think I've already said this off air, but so I've seen Justin Timberlake twice. The first time I saw Justin Timberlake, I was pregnant with my first child, and technically was supposed to be on bed rest.
Yikes.
That Friday I had my appointment. They were like, we need you to go on bed rest. And I was like, listen, I hear you. I hear all the words you're saying. I do have Justin Timberlake tickets tomorrow night. So I was like, respectfully, Sunday, I will begin my bed rest.
Respectfully, LOL.
Yeah, it's not happening. So anyways, I went to Justin Timberlake with my sister-in-law and one other person. And we went to the concert, and we were like letter R, of the upper, like middle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was so excited, and I'm like, giant belly, here to dance. Everyone else around us sat for most of the concert for Justin Timberlake.
I know.
And I just was like, look, I came to party, and this is literally my last hurrah in all the senses. And sometimes she did dance with me, and other times she was like, and like the other person we were with, they wanted to sit. And I'm like, was so self-conscious of, my butt.
Okay.
Because there were people behind me. But I literally could not. Like, it was illegal to sit down at a Justin Timberlake concert. So I hated all of it. It ruined the vibe. I still, like, to the best of my ability, was like, I'm going to rock it, and I can't help it. And, like, in the slow songs, I did sit down. Like, in his ballad section, where I believe you and we did not. But even that, and it was like, another banger would come up, and I'm like, I'd look around, I'm like, sorry guys, gotta, and like would stand, and it just was like, what? No, majority of the section was sitting, and it was a real bummer.
See, okay, that's the thing. I feel like different genres perhaps I'm trying to just like try to understand, like lend itself to that at different points. So at Rascal Flatts, I got some fun feedback from my group. So I was there with like 7 people or 8 people or something like that. And we were literally the last row of the nosebleeds of this arena, right? So we're in it, and one of my friends, Rascal Flatts Sharon, was like, after the show, we're walking back, it's very cold outside, and she's like, so you really went hard, like the whole show. Like, she was reflecting on it. And I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, like, it's Rascal Flatts. Like, I'm not gonna not live my best life. And she was like, you just, like, she said something like, I can't imagine having that much energy. And I was like, I mean, they give it to you, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
a concert,
it's just, yeah. And so it was so interesting because, most of my row was, like, seated for a good chunk of the time. Now, I did sit for a couple of the, like, acoustic set songs.
Yeah, and that feels acceptable.
But it made sense.
It
was
break.
Like, everyone's kind of a vibe. But then at a certain point, you just gotta, you know. But then, like, Justin Timberlake is like an R&B situation kind of show, right? You know, like, even that kind of thing, you're like, okay, or pop, or whatever you want to call it.
Yes,
like,
you're like, how can
so
you
even
not
that,
physically,
Yeah, and then, okay, so, like, Avett Brothers, seeing them live, I mean, absolutely wonderful. But, like, you know, I was with little brother Shawn and sister-in-law Sharon, and I feel like my girl, you know, sister-in-law Sharon, I think perhaps, and she's an active listener, I think we can ask her in the moment, even though it'll be later that she hears that, I think you wanted to stand maybe a bit more, but how do you do that if you're torn? If your husband, your better half, is like, nah, I'm going to sit for, because that's how little brother Shawn rolls. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But
I understand. There's a huge pressure.
Avett's a genre that's like, well, some songs are like bumping, you know, like kick drum, heart, you know, or there's different songs that you're like, okay, slight figure of speech. I want to like get up and like and punch dance out my rage. And then Murder in the City, I'm like, well, yeah, I just want to hear your sweet voice, you know, Seth or Scott, both of you, you know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely dependent on genre, because we saw my dad and my brother Shawn, older brother Shawn, they were called the Milk Carton Kids. Mm-hmm. And like 100% folksy, and it was in this niche little theater in Cleveland where I think it seats like 200 maybe, and like we were all just like, it was almost like a dance hall, and so like all the chairs were just like on the wooden floor in like a U shape around them. So it was, like, very, like, intimate, and that was super cool, of course. So, like, that one, there was, like, no. And, like, they were funny and charming and stuff. And, like, there were some, like, more, like, upbeat stuff. And that one was more, like, bob your head, like, tap your feet sort of thing. But, that would have been insane to stand up and dance. But, yeah, I have to say, so, husband Shawn and I, like, especially when we're road tripping and it's, like, a long road trip, I'll like to, like, circle back and, like, I'll pull up, like, Fall Out Boy and Good Charlotte and one of Boys Like Girls. He and I both, like, and it was like, oh, we both were listening to that at the same time. So, literally, I saw Boys Like Girls was in Charlotte this week, and I was like, oh, and it was on a Monday, so I was like, cool. And then here's the kicker. It was just general admission, standing room only were the ticket options. And I was like, no.
What?
Something about not having a chair at all just sounded like too much.
Then you just
it sounded like too much.
And you can just dance, and you're at one with the audience.
I know, but I thought
that sounds great.
A Monday at 7 and no chair. Like, this was like, it showed my age, because it was
funny. Okay.
So I never really pursued it, and now maybe I'm like, that would have been a good one. And husband Shawn, never been to a concert.
No.
Yeah.
What?
I know. So that was my other of, like, would he be miserable? Shawn. And I was like, I don't want that to be the first in that regard.
That's funny, because I think in that... that's funny. Okay, so Half Alive, I've seen twice. Absolutely love them so much. And they are ones, it's like standing room only, but that's just like the size of their shows, right? So like there'd be 200 some people or something, but like that's the entirety of the show. And so, but there's such a like connection and sweetness to that audience. Because it's Half Alive and they're more like Christian based and stuff too, but like you wouldn't necessarily know that, but then you listen to the lyrics at all, you're like, whoa, cool. But they don't sound like Christian sounding, if that makes sense, in the music genre wise. But the standing room only creates this bond that's just unmatched. Do you see what I'm saying? So that would be, I think, a good first concert, because then you're just like, oh, you're bonding, you're vibing, you're going to get a drink if you want, you can go at the merch table. Like, there's other areas to go if you want, but also, like, you're just there and you're in it, and there's no, like, opting out that I feel like a seat provides. I don't love a seat. Maybe I
just want the comfort to know it's there.
Okay.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, and also, okay, so being a tall
old
girly.
Amy?
I get that. Don't I know it? Mother Time over here with my gray hair. I get that. But I don't know. I think... Okay, what do you think? Have you ever been to a show where there was moshing involved?
No.
Great. Because one of the ones that I just remembered that I wrote down was we saw this Sublime cover band. Not Sublime, but we were just like in the downtown area, like just south of Nashville, after services or something when we were teenagers. And yeah, there was like a mosh situation that happened. I feel like that happened a teensy tiny bit at the Muse concert as well. Muse was, I think, my second concert ever. I was like 16, which was super cool. Silver Sun Pickups open. But that was like standing room in the front part. It's like where we got the tickets.
Yeah. Oh,
and it was cool, but there's also just, with that, I guess, too, maybe seated people do this too. I feel like there's more ne'er-do-wells in a full-on standing zone. Like people... like mysteriously disappearing for a second and then coming back and then feeling differently. Like, I feel like there's things like that occur. Does that make sense? I feel like there's... Let me be more clear. There's some active drug use and things that I think occur in like a standing room only, whereas like if you're in a seat, in my brain, that just doesn't happen as... does that make sense? Because you're not outside. I don't know. I definitely think there's aspects of concerts that are not Amy friendly. That being one of them, where it's like, and I think that's why I didn't think my number was going to be too huge, because the whole like, oh, we're going to a concert. That's not my first number one thing I want to go do. Like a comedy show, I'm pretty like, let's do it, depending on who it is. Because I need it to be a trusted person. I need for like the openers not to be like really gross or something, you know, which is a pretty limited scope, I guess. But with Nate Land's, you know, all that Nate Bargatze's doing, like it's like opening up more doors for me to feel more comfortable at those kind of shows. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of like the outside venues, you know, where it's like, oh, Live on the Green is a Nashville thing, so it's like it's a free concert thing. So like I've seen Ben Folds there, but like several different musicians will go, kind of like Coachella or something like that, I guess. But it's free, but you're just outside, and I don't. It's just so hot, and everyone's smoking because you're outside. It's just stuff like that. That's like, you know, I don't particularly love that aspect, but I think the seat. Yes, it's nice to know I have a set space here. I belong here. And then if you go move and you go get a drink from the bar or something, like finding your way back, like front and center, if you wanted to be front and center, is like really difficult now because now everyone has like moved in your spot. So that's tricky with standing room only. You know what I mean? So if you want to be like really close to the action, like you're going to have to like push your way through. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I'm a tall girly.
Yes.
I do not feel self-conscious about my behind. I feel self-conscious about just my size. So then, like, my cute little friends that are like, you know, shawty, you know, those girls can just, like, dance and throw their hands up and just living their absolute best life. and they're not disturbing anyone. And I do that because I'm going to have fun. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like, if it's a standing room only show and there's no like amphitheater or like any kind of incline to the, like, you know what I'm saying, where we're standing,
people are
then I'm like, they literally can't see. There's no way they can see. I'm with shoes on, like 6 foot. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, I do.
So I do feel badly for people, but then I'm like, but I want to stand. That y'all should be standing too.
Here. Yeah,
I know we all belong here, so I don't. Yeah. You belong with me. So what do we do?
We belong together. Mariah Carey. Now I would go see Mariah Carey.
100%. Yeah. Okay. I do want to hear. Tour? It's difficult to say. I'm drinking limoncello. Didn't say that.
Great.
Okay. Do you got any bucket list?
I mean, people? I know we've said it before, but Shania Twain, if she ever tours again, we will do what we can to be there, because that would be a show from start to finish. I would feel alive, invincible, unaware of my body, time, space, response, like all of it would just.
Would you wear a like leopard leotard?
Probably not a leopard leotard, but I would try to eventize my outfit somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because JT was tough because I was 6 weeks postpartum.
You were. So,
I tried to go fun in the best way that I could.
But, like, hip-hop's its own fashion thing that I don't typically, if you can believe it.
Well, yeah, you didn't go, like, bedazzled or anything. Like, it was, but yeah. But, like, Shania, I would do big time, do something fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mariah Carey. Goodness, I would love every second of that too.
We might have to cut this, but a canceled artist that would have been great to see is Chris Brown. That would have been great.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But he's just not the vibe.
No, but yeah, if we could do like a circa 2000s like tour somehow.
Oh, speaking of, this is not related concerts, but we watched Amber and I, sister of the podcast, really sister of the pod. We watched the Laguna Beach reunion. It was fine.
Okay.
It was 2 hours
talking about drama from.
Well, it kept teasing drama, and then you'd be like, up next, blah blah blah, and there were just so many commercials, and it was just. I don't know, but it kept saying, so Hilary Duff, who is on tour now, concert, Bring Us Back. Yes. Her song Clean, or Coming Clean, Cleaner, let's go back to the beginning. It did that little clip of the song for Laguna Beach, because that was a part of their, like, theme song. It did that clip 20 times. And finally I was like, you gotta stop doing that clip. And then it'd be like a word from our sponsors, but the sponsors were all individuals that were in the special.
Ew.
Does that make sense? So it just felt kind of like, oh no. So then it was just like Lauren Conrad. Like, actually, I do. Amber and I both want to buy Lauren Conrad clothes. Throughout the special, when they would they went to go like get a pedicure together and do different things that they would have done in the show in Laguna. Lauren Conrad was literally wearing her line of clothing.
Well, of course. Yeah.
And we were like, didn't we just see that? It would be a stupid
mistake to not.
But it was just like, no, but I literally just did the QR code during the break. And I was like, I think she's wearing that. I think that's another one of her pieces. So that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because it was a show about drama from when they were teenagers. And now we're all inching close to 40. So now it's just a bunch of 40-year-olds talking about drama from 20 years ago.
And they were just like, that was crazy. Well, then they kept crying about, it kept being like, they're about to cry. And Amber and I are like, what are they going to cry about? Like, because it appeared that they were just getting super emotional about the footage of their graduation. But I was like, I feel like my graduation was like the least impactful moment of my life. Not really, but like, I feel like it made sense to my
graduation,
parents.
I wouldn't. Anticipation of graduation, I would put up there. This is so cheesy. I actually do remember this moment from my senior prom. At the very end, they did play the graduation song by Vitamin C.
Sure, okay.
Friends Forever. And we all gathered around in a circle and put all the seniors' arms around each other, and we swayed to that song. Yeah. And I actually do remember crying.
Well, prom makes sense.
And yeah, it was like purely this song, but that song and that moment, like if it comes up on like a, you know, like chaotic 2000s playlist or whatever on Spotify, I viscerally remember. Okay. And like remember being jarred by the level of emotion I was having over that moment, but that was like, you know, they hit me in the feels.
That's great. Okay, see, but we were like, but graduation itself, I feel like your parents have a big moment with that, right? Because, you know, like, you know, I can picture like,
and like taking pictures maybe like in front of your high school, but like the actual graduation ceremony was.
I mean, you don't remember it. Yeah, you just kind of like, I remember some of the photos and stuff, but even then you're like,
and then you're like,
anyway, well, it turns out it turns out. That's true. It actually, I've had a lot of good memories at other people's graduations because I've been to a bunch with like church friends and stuff. So me and one of the best friends, Shawn's, the younger of the two, we've played many What's Their Story.
Oh, sure.
Just
Killing
sitting
time.
During the graduation. Yeah, like, okay, who are these two? You know, and so that was always fun to be like, what's going on over here? And we were just talking about the crowd. So I have had some good memories. But not about I couldn't tell you who was graduating necessarily at each one of those.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you while we're talking about graduations?
Sure.
I have a visceral milestone marker from my brother's graduation, who's 6 years older than I am. Mm-hmm. And my mom let me shave my legs for the first time the morning of my brother's graduation.
Wow.
She handed me a razor with no instructions and said, "Here you go." Again, she really didn't do a good job about teaching me about my body.
Sure.
And so I full leg shaved, including my inner thighs, and I just razored.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like so much blood. Like,
was it a massacre?
It was an absolute massacre. Okay. So I think on each inner thigh was anywhere from like 4 to 6 Band-Aids per thigh.
No.
Yeah. And so I just remember being so physically uncomfortable at my brother's graduation because my legs, like, and like, bicycle shorts didn't exist, you know, like any sort of, there was none of that. So yeah, it was tough. And that's a very visceral, and it's just like a marker of like, that was older brother Shawn's high school graduation. And that's why I remember it.
That's interesting. Okay. I'm up to 20.
Okay.
Shows. So I keep remembering different ones. But
sure.
I can't believe Husband Shawn's not been to a concert.
I know, and I really do feel, but like he also doesn't care about music or vibes. So like it doesn't surprise me in that regard because I've thought, oh, well, obviously I just have to find a concert. But again, it's like, to who does he actually care about? And I was like, oh, Boys Like Girls would have actually been a good one. But, you know, like, he'll just, like, play, like, EDM music while he works or something, and it's like, you know, like, he just doesn't really have...
People like it.
Do they? Yeah.
They do, I guess.
I'm hoping there's a one we find, you know, somewhere down the line that I'm like, oh.
I just remember Cake. I saw Cake live. But these are different ones.
See, those are interesting. Those are interesting where you're like, okay, because you know that one song from the radio, and then you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to go see him. Now, the Jonas Brothers, I would go see, and that's another one that I'm like, oh, I should have gotten tickets and gone.
Joe Bros. Yeah, friend of the pod,
like now.
Haley, who I've, traveled extensively around the world with, she has seen the Joe Bros before, and she has said on record, like, that is her, like, one of the best nights of her life. And I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, no, they toured just recently, like, and I, like, actively, and I found out one of my friends was going with another, and I was like, oh, I would have loved to have gone. You should have included me. And they're like, I'm so sorry. Like, they were just like, oh, no. And it was like, but our tickets and there's no other. And I was like, it's fine. I'm just not going to go. But, like, man, I actually would have, like, because they're, not this most recent album, not the Hometown one, but the one before that, like, their album they re-released when they got back together. I know the words to every single one of those songs. Like, I love that album. It was so good.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see them in concert, but again, it just didn't work out.
Can you give me some... This kind of sort of relates to concerts, but, like, can you give me some all-time albums in general? Does that interest you at all?
I mean,
like,
JT 2020 Experience.
Yeah.
The very first time on the very first track, Push Your Love. Literally, the opening, it was like, oh, my brain and my body knew that I am going to love this whole... Yes. And I just remember...
And let listeners get into it.
Yes. Yeah, I just knew in that exact moment that I was like, I'm going to love this.
Yeah.
I was a big album person for a long time because it was like, kind of goes back to that, like, well, I'm not just going to like stuff because you guys like stuff. And if I am going to like it, I'm going to like the whole album and the whole artist because I'm not just like their hits and stuff. So,
listeners, listen to season 1 episode music to hear her backstory.
Yes, yeah. And, so, I mean, like, early Taylor Swift, like, I bought all the early Taylor Swift and, like, listened to the whole album, and, like, I wouldn't let myself skip because then that meant I didn't really...
because I didn't.
Yeah, we're in totally different eras. That way. Yes. Other albums. Well, if you have one, say it, because now I gotta think.
Well, when it sort of got brought up in my brain because you mentioned that you saw Train live. Mm-hmm. I think the Drops of Jupiter Train album...
Yes.
Like, I mean, to this day, if I listen to it, I know all the words to that entire album. Like, I just let me try again. Eat, sleep, and breathe. How do you say that past tense? Ate, slept, and breathed. Do you see what I'm saying? Past tense is crazy. It's so hard. My brain was, like, calculating. It's still buffering. That album is just so good.
Yeah, I was really into
Ocean
Incubus.
Avenue.
Oh, Ocean Avenue. Yes. That's a good album.
That's a whole great album.
Totally.
Empty Apartment.
Yep. Yeah, the Jason Mraz.
Yes.
The white with just the black line art. I forget.
It's not Love, is it?
No, that was the one after. Yeah, it's like, is it Beautiful Messes? That whole album, whichever I can see the album art for it. Yeah.
See, okay, did you do this thing too where, speaking, it kind of relates to concerts, but like there are live versions of Jason Mraz songs that's the version I was introduced to. So then when I heard, like, Beautiful Messes one, where like I heard the live version, not from Germany, but the live version of that, where I was like, oh, like, this is just, and it's like on a mix CD or something, probably from one of the best friend Shawn's, or maybe like Big Brother Shawn. And then later you hear like the real recorded, and you're like, ew, it was like, it felt too processed or something, because I feel like Jason Mraz is one of those artists for me that there were several that I only heard the live version.
Yeah. When you graduated high school, for our area, there was a church prom. And when you were a senior, you got to submit what your favorite song was. And they burned a CD of the seniors' favorite songs. And mine was Jason Mraz, The Beautiful Mess.
Oh,
because I was like, oh, okay, what do I want it to be that, like, and like that was not a popular song off that album, like, at the time. Yeah, that was my song. I love that song. I still love that song.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. all Incubus, literally every single Incubus album, again, start to finish.
I think I just know, like, Drive.
Of course, but so, to me, it was like, no, and especially with my brothers, it was like, if you don't like them, you have to like the whole of it all. I mean, but I can't remember recently what album I've gotten into, although there was, Lady Antebellum, like 2016 maybe, whatever that album was. I like really liked the whole, and like got weirdly, and then the Joe Bros. Yeah, Happiness, is it Happiness?
I don't know.
Album? I don't remember.
Okay, Avett Brothers, I in Love and You was like a huge album for me. That entire album is just, no skips and all the things. I mean, Ben Folds has been Folds for me, right? So my own just love of, like, Songs for Silver Men and different ones, or even like back to Ben Folds 5 and stuff, were just all important to me. But that was in an era of time that everything was on mixes, so it's like eventually I would like get all the songs. It was like, well, like, albums were not necessarily something that I was like going for all the time.
Yeah.
Mr. A to Z, Jason Mraz.
Oh,
that
yeah,
album
that's a good
was
one. Yes.
huge.
Yes.
So that was one that I had the album.
See that brings me to like being a nanny, like a 20-year-old nanny with like no real worries in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
good.
A good album.
I mean, recently, of course, my new personality is the whatever's clever, Charlie Puth. But now I'm more interested in a new album because it's like, oh, I like this person, this artist. I want to listen to the artistry of the whole thing as a whole, you know. But I feel like I came late into life. You know what I mean? Like I
see, we're on total opposite because now I'm like, I ain't got time for that.
See, now I'm like, I
can't lend myself to a whole album.
Listen, I got a phone-free bedroom, and I got, you know, over an hour walks a day now. So now I'm like, oh, we can listen to this on our walk, you know. Obviously, you know, like Taylor Swift albums and stuff. Probably about that time when Evermore, because we talked about this in the music episode, but like when that album dropped of hers, I was very like, I was going through a breakup, of course, and that whole album just meant a lot to me because I was dealing with all these things, but then you just listen to the whole thing, and it was when Spotify was doing really good, you know, however many years ago, 2021, I guess, and so then it's like, oh, you had access to the whole album, so then it was like, oh, I do want to listen to this whole thing, and then watching different documentaries about different things, like the Get Back documentary. I really like the Get Back album of the Beatles because of that documentary, you know what I mean? So it's and it's stuff like that, like the most recent Paul McCartney one. I really like his album Ram. That's a more recent one. It's that I have heard of, but it was in the 70s, you know, and that came out. So it's like, you know, you're just like kind of, I feel like for a lot, I don't know, listeners can write in, but I feel like a lot of our peers in our like early 30 somethings are like, I don't know. I'd be curious to know like what their relationship to that was. Like, were they cool and aloof like you, and they were already getting into albums, or were they like, you know, like a little bit more like me, where it's like single thing, and now going, oh, there's a whole story here. We should like listen to the whole thing, you know?
Yeah. Or like me, who listen to the same 4 playlists over and over and over again.
I mean, I'm sure, but probably more of our listeners statistically are probably like you in the sense of they're probably young parents now. And what young parent is like, and now this album and nothing else, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'd be curious.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
because a lot of concerts lead to, like, the album thing and concerts, like, tie together, because typically a band or a musician is only going on concert to promote their newest album. So then it's like, by the time that album comes out and you see the artist, you're like, play your hits, because you're thinking about this stuff from the past. But now I'm like, no, I want them to be able to, like, I want to be fully aware of their newest album, because that's what they're promoting, you know what I mean? So
it works. It's a plant, you know, it's a tactic, and it works.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, we talked about this in person, but saw Garth Brooks.
Yes.
And that was a big one. And that was a cool experience because he was doing 2 shows on Friday, 2 shows on Saturdays, and like 1 on Sunday. And it sold out so quickly, he opened up a 3rd show on Saturday. So it was like the show started at like 10:30 on a Saturday. But that worked out great because there was no Sabbath confliction. Yeah. But yeah, he already his voice was shot. Like, even his speaking voice. Like, I mean, which is, you know, I get it. And even despite all that, it still was a great concert. And we went with people who also were having fun and were, like, super into it. And, like, that was, like, a fun experience that I, just have, like, cataloged in my brain of, like, oh, yeah, that he put on a good concert. That was fun.
Yeah. Amber has seen, I think, Billy Currington. There's a few different ones that were, like, just before my time that I wasn't old enough. So, like, the venue would be, like, 18 and up or 21 and up or something.
And little sister had to be left behind.
And it was so sad. Like, I remember, I was so ticked. And if either of the best friends, Shawn's, are listening, I was livid because they all went to go see Coldplay without me.
Oh,
and I was like so sad, but I think I don't even think it was 21 up. I think it was 18 and up, which meant I was a sweet baby. And I was like, let me in. Oh, I was so sad. cried about that.
That's a tough one.
Because
Hilarious.
Coldplay would have been.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have seen them. For
yeah.
sure.
Is there any other? Are there bucket lists for you?
One bucket list. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I want to see Paul McCartney live.
Interesting.
Oh, I just really, because he's just like such a musician of several generations, like of a I don't know, millennia. I don't know. Like I just feel like he's like obviously part of the Beatles and stuff, but like I would love to see him because I think his solo music is great. I think obviously Beatles stuff is good too, but Wings, his band, that too. Like I'd love to see him live, but that's tough. John Williams, I'd love to see him conduct a symphony of his stuff. Like, but again, some of these are we're racing against the clock because these are some older people. But that'd be super cool to see him live and do like Star Wars music or Jurassic Park, or you know what I mean, like stuff like that would be so sick. I think most of my biggest artists, I feel like
you've tackled.
I've seen, yeah, like obviously Ben Folds is my number one. I've seen Avett Brothers. I would love to see them again. JT, I finally got to see, of course. Now Rascal Flatts.
Yeah, Rascal Flatts would be high on my list, and I still stand by my reaction.
Yeah, that was crazy. Well, and I thought it was funny. That's why I wanted to dress in such a way, and also mention the not that you'd have as big of a reaction to Charlie Puth, but just like, oh yeah, I just basically discovered his music in general, and now I'm going to a concert. It just feels very on brand for me.
For you, very much so. Yeah,
but. Yeah, I want to go to more. It's not really bucket list in general. I want to go to more symphonies because the Nashville Symphony is phenomenal. Like they are incredible, and they do a lot of it'll show a movie, so it might show like Empire Strikes Back or something, and then the Nashville Symphony, like the movie's playing, and anytime there's music, they're just live going and living the dream, and I'm like, that would be cool.
As you said that, I was blasted. I actually did see the Cleveland Orchestra. They did. The Planets. It was and it was really cool, and they had
classical.
And they had like projected, like the theater was dark and then projected all like the constellations and everything. And then we went with like a church, like we went, it wasn't like sponsored by our church, but like a bunch of people from our church, we all went, and that I wouldn't call that a concert necessarily, but I guess technically, but yeah.
Yeah, I just wrote that down too because I was like, oh, like the symphonies count because like me and best friend Sharon from Cincinnati, like we've seen them do like Beethoven's Fifth or whatever, like it that kind of thing. Like in concert, their symphony is great. I think that'd be cool. Well, also I want to see more musicals in general, like not concerts per se, but like live plays and stuff. Because my first one ever in London somehow. I got to see Phantom. So, seeing Phantom of the Opera, my first musical live somehow in my, late 20s was in London.
That's very
and it was Phantom of the Opera. So I wasn't full on weeping, but basically, I was just like, I just can't believe we're here. Like, that's insanely cool. And then I got to see Hamilton in New York, which was crazy.
Yes, that was crazy.
Not like the original cast, obviously, but, still, it was just, absolutely insane, so cool to see Hamilton in New York.
Actually friends of ours here, Trivia, Sharon and Shawn and their children went and saw Wicked last week.
Oh.
And loved it.
Of course.
Yeah, so their 7-year-old, and she was so excited about it too, and
Yeah. Speaking of, I never saw part 2 of that.
I am feeling apprehensive about it. Yes, because...
Well, I don't know what happens.
I don't know what happens either. And
I know all the music from it. No, I know all the music, so I definitely should know what happens, but I sure don't. Because there's different ones I'm like, too sad, skip, and then I don't know what happens. So now I'm like, Fierro, what's going on with you? Can't wait to check back in, but I'm not hopeful.
I need to watch it myself first because, we let our kids see it, the first one, and then kind of after the fact I'm like, like, should we be watching this? I don't know. And I was like, I kind of landed on, like, I didn't love all the, like, publicity stuff leading up to the second one coming out and just, like, the weirdness around. And I'm like, this, like, actively promotes witches. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
and I had mentioned to these friends who went and saw Wicked on the I was like, oh, we should take the girls and go see the second when it comes in theater. And she was the one who was like, it's gonna be, like, heavier and darker. I don't know. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're, like, total Wicked heads, if you will. So I was like, and that, so then I was like, okay, so maybe my gut was right, and, like, this isn't something we should be watching and, like, participating in. So here we are, and, like, just the kids haven't asked about it, because, like, we have a Roku TV, and stuff will just, like, show up or be advertised, so I'm, like, waiting for the day.
Time is just past.
I know, so I'm like, I don't know.
And it's also, so the first part of it, part one or whatever, in the theatrical version, right, is like all of the banger songs and all of what I know of the album, music-wise, has already happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, that happens in part one. So, part two is all the ones that on the album, I go, like, on the recorded album, I just always skip because I'm like, witchcraft nonsense next. You know, like, I don't listen to that. And it just, like, sad and kind of a bummer. And so now I'm like, oh, that's why I don't know what happens in the show, because A, I haven't seen it, and B, like, those are the more, like, intense.
See, so I'm like, yeah, I probably should. Speaking of part one, part two, we introduced the kids to The Sound of Music. Which, I know I had seen it as a child, but not like we've watched it 1,000 times in our family. But yeah, I'm like, it's so sweet, and they are loving it. And yeah, we watched part one.
Did you have to explain Nazis?
Not yet, because that's part two, which we just haven't gotten to yet. But, like, I mean, yeah, we had
part
friends.
Two's always got some Nazis.
We had friends over, and Lucy was like, for our movie night, can we finish The Sound of Music? I was like, I don't think we should just jump in.
The second half of The Sound of Music is tough.
Movie night. So, yeah, we need to get on it. But, like, I'm like, I did, like, especially now watching it as a mom who is cautious about media and things like that. Like, I was just like, oh, yes, I love all of this. And, like, we're listening to Anne of Green Gables on audio right now. And, like, we listened to The Secret Garden before this. And I'm like, yeah, I feel nostalgic for safe, pure,
absolutely
golden.
Have we talked about this? Have you seen Singing in the Rain?
No.
I love Singing in the Rain. It might be a little... not old, like, inappropriate for your kids, but old, just, they're all adults. It's not like kids or, you know what I mean, like, singing and stuff. But if you think about just, like, pure, unadulterated, sweet, like, it's just such a joyful film. It's just so good. Like, it's great. There's a whole long scene where Gene Kelly sings, it's the song Broadway, and you'll know it when you see it. And he's just like, on Broadway. It lasts like 15 minutes somehow. Woo. And it's just not interesting. It is absolutely skippable. And you're like, oh, do you see this character again he's dancing with? No. And so it's just from the 40s or 50s or whatever when Singing in the Rain was made. And there is one scene that's just, they just didn't know how to edit then. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I run a podcast. I get it. Sometimes we don't know.
Sure.
We don't know what to keep. We don't know what to cut. But Singing in the Rain's so good. And I have shown, like, a few scenes to my students before. And the song Make 'Em Laugh, of course, the song Singing in the Rain, the classic, like, Singing in the Rain. And, like, his dancing and physical comedy is just so cool to see. Because he's physically doing that. He's just, like, able to dance and move. And then the song Make 'Em Laugh is Donald O'Connor. And he's just, like, trying, like, the whole song's about, like, be more ridiculous, and it's going to make people laugh. But then his body's physically whatever. And the kids just, they laugh so hard because he's, like, punching a dummy in it and stuff. And they're like, it's just so funny. Like, it's just, but they've never seen anything quite like it. So, that's my mid-show plug of just, as far as wholesome, just great, just we watched, sweet.
We showed the kids Mary Poppins Returns, the Emily Blunt version, and that was, like, our introduction into, like, okay, I think they can handle musicals and things, because they'd be like, is this a grown-up movie or is this a kid movie? And, like, we've done a few of those where, like, DComs and stuff where they were like, this is a grown-up movie, and you're like, bruh, No. But, like,
How
finally...
funny. So they're like, not
So,
interested.
Mary Poppins Returns was, like, the first where Lucy was like, are there more movies like that? Oh, yeah, girl.
You're
Buckle
like, girl,
up.
you don't even know.
Yeah, so we're just getting there.
How fun. See, I feel like oldest nephew, I think he'd be open to, I don't know, I guess he would ask the kids question, like, is this for kids or is this for adults? Like, I think he'd be not annoyed, but, like, just disinterested in some of the quote-unquote adult themes. But he likes, like, Marvel movies and stuff, so now he's slowly, like, tackling all the, like, MCU universe and stuff, and so he really likes that, and his favorite is Black Panther. He's like, well, that's my favorite, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, great. I don't know how you identify with any of the characters, but I love that he's like, he's my favorite. He's the coolest. I'm like, great.
Clearly.
Okay, wonderful. I mean, he is very cool. You know, cool guy, but, it's just funny, but.
Yeah.
All right. Are there any other big concert highlights that you feel like you need to throw out there? Because we've hit a lot, thankfully, with the music.
I just can't emphasize enough how wonderful JT was.
Yeah, lest we forget.
So I just, bring it back around. That's all I gotta say.
I love that. I totally agree. I think, I've said most of the things I need to say. Walk the Moon was a really great concert, that's a for what it's worth statement. And that was a band that lent itself to, I didn't see a person sitting the whole show. Because you just can't. You're just up and, like, jumping, dancing, but everyone did have a physical seat. Sure. So it was really interesting to see, like, oh, okay, we just kind of all went hard on that one, which I really love. But
yeah, it's a good feeling when everyone just agrees to click in.
Like, we're all leaning into this.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. We did concerts. Side note, I didn't mention Brendan James. I did see Brendan James. And I love him, and he's, like, not super well known, but I saw him on, like, a tiny little concert venue, and it was great. The smoke machine did go pretty hard, and it's like a really, really small venue, and it just irritated my eyes. So then I slowly just, like, with my jacket, had to, like, wipe off my mascara. And at the end of the show, we got to meet Brendan James, because you could just stand in line and meet him. And I met him with no mascara, and I was just, like, I was with best friend Shawn, like, younger best friend Shawn. And, like, we had a really good time, but I was also, like,
I'm not at my best,
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to be in a prom dress, but that's okay.
We can't always be in a prom dress, Just
I guess so. You got anything to plug, Manders?
No. We've been very busy in the evening, so we have not been watching. Well, okay. I'll sort of plug. I can't speak to it all. Have you watched season 2 of Paradise?
No, I'm too scared.
It's way less intense than season 1. Like, it's way less, like, diabolical, which is not even the right term, but, like, there was some, like, murdery stuff in season 1 that neither one of us were prepared for.
No,
but
it got
we were
too
invested
dark.
enough, and it's not. Season 2 is way more, like, sci-fi almost.
Okay.
And, like, there is one episode that is like, oh, that's kind of tough. So again, I'm not saying there was nothing inappropriate, but there's like some dark elements in one of the episodes. But anyways, husband Shawn and I, we plowed through season 2 of Paradise.
Whoa. So. Okay, you went through it. Okay.
Oh yeah, we're already through it. Yeah.
I literally have so many things listed in plugs. So I don't think I should list all of them. We just haven't chatted in a while, so I just feel like, I guess we just for now I'll only lean into a couple of them. Let me explain can I just explain to you why I love Charlie Puth's new album?
I guess.
Okay. Listeners, she's not ready. Because it reminded me of it when I was talking about not The Sound of Music, but Singing in the Rain. The new album, the reason I like it so much, it's so joyful. And this album is so, like, his whole thing is, like, Charlie Puth is like, hey, the music from, like, the late 80s, early, like, 90s, that's what I love, and that's actually me. Like, that's who I am. So I'm going to use a synthesizer. I'm going to have, Kenny, yeah.
Sure.
Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
The guy
Jess,
that,
the
yeah.
saxophonist, yeah.
Yes. He has a song called
fun.
Cry.
Okay.
The song Cry is so genuinely good and sweet, and there's a huge saxophone solo from him, and I'm like, what?
Okay.
And then Kenny G has this huge saxophone solo, so it almost sounds cheesy, but he's like, no, this is the music I actually like. So, like, if you don't like it, that's fine, but this is me. And then at the end of the album, he has a song called I Used to Be Cringe, and the whole song's about just, like, I used to kind of make music to, like, that I kind of liked, but more just to, like, fit in with stuff, but this is just, like, really who I am. And I'm like, I love that. Like, that's just so cool.
Like,
and each
I don't
want to
write you a love song because you asked for it, because you need one. You see?
Sarah Bareilles is good friends with
Actually, that whole her whole album, I think it's called Bluebird. I loved that whole album.
She's great.
Yeah, she's
crazy
great. She's
talented.
really talented.
Yeah.
Really talented, yes. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I know. You were thinking about Sarah Bareilles.
I just need a song about writing songs. Can't help it.
I'm not going to write you a love song. Okay, so listen to that. Listen to Whatever's Clever. It's very, very good. And now, I guess the only thing is, there is a new season of Taskmaster.
Okay, have you started it?
And the first episode is now out because I got on the old YouTube literally an hour and a half ago, or not really, but something crazy. I was like, oh! And so I started it. No spoilers, but
is Kamal just so adorable?
He's so adorable. Kamal is, yes, but no. They did one of those fun things where they make one of the contestants do something that no one else had to do. Like, out the gate. And it's just so funny, but it's also like, I went, oh, like, it was shocking. That, like,
we actually just watched an episode like that where we're like, wait, what? Why does he have 20 minutes? Everyone else has 5.
It's just so sad. But, like, they open the new season with this.
Right.
And I've just never seen anything quite like it. It's great.
We are in episode, 6 of series 7, I think.
Okay.
So we're going to ride that out, finish out this series, and then jump into the new.
Is that the one with James or no?
Yes.
Okay, because I know you're not a fan of him.
No, but Alex,
this
is so insular if you don't watch Taskmaster. But maybe we cut it because it's not
You
that
will, though.
But
no, guys, just watch it. Stop
Alex held up, literally, it was like, and now James, and then held up a caster. And Greg slapped it out of his hand and was like, no! And it was so genuinely funny.
No. He didn't like it.
Because he was like, James, and then held up a caster.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that got
I
me
do
real
like
good.
that. Well, you thought his name was J space separate letter A period space Caster.
Caster, yeah, and James just like,
no, his name is Acaster. Acaster is just one word.
One word.
I just love him so much because I can change him. I can't emphasize that enough. He's like the Jess of British comedians.
Which checks out because I actually don't really care for Jess. Not that this is a Gilmore Guys podcast, but
it should be a Gilmore Guys podcast. It's basically a Gilmore Guys. Welcome to Gilmore Guys. Yeah, all right. I got a bunch more. I got a bunch more plugs, but I guess I can save them for a future ep.
Yeah,
I'll just save them because they'll still be relevant. But all right, well, we did it. Concerts, guys. Go to concerts or don't. Tell us your best concert story. Write in
or something.
Call in.
There you go. You guys take calls or?
Yeah, we take live calls Monday nights.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we love you guys.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Peace out.
Yo.
Do you like how I switched that out? I didn't say bye.
I know. Peace. Thanks for listening to We Probably Have a Plan, a friendship podcast.
Our show was created by us, Amy and Amanda.
Our sponsorship is still completely vacant at the moment, but if you know anyone that loves a good hang, a good time, and a podcast about friendship, let us know. Thank you, dear, sweet listeners.
Bye.
Bye.